I just moved into the house, don't have a tree up yet, but we are going to put a tree up and have a bunch of toys for the baby. But at the end of the day, it's just about being in one space together and enjoying family. And that's really about it for this year. Next year, I probably won't do gifts because I want to do more of experiences versus a bunch of toys. I was setting up my son's room and he has tons and tons of toys. I'm like, what else does this kid need, right? Like, I'm not ready to take him to Disneyland. For the parents that are taking little kids to Disneyland, mad respect, mad love to you. I'm just not there yet. I don't know how they do it. 5, 3, 2 years old, and they're lugging the kids around. I'm just not that person right now. Maybe I'll wait till like he's 5, 6, or 7. But nonetheless, I'm all about experiences. I am wanting to do more of that versus buy a bunch of gifts and put them under the tree. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. I'm actually going to call on Ryan this morning, the playmaker. My man, good to see you. Hopefully you got yourself a lamp. But Ryan, it's been a minute since you were here for the group coaching and spoke, so I'm going to have you bring us out of the tunnel, bring us out on the field, and let's peep game on those new glasses really quick. All right, take yourself off on mute. There we go.
Yeah, I put them on for 2 seconds. They're these blue light glasses, and I don't like the way they look, so they're not.
All right, so let's go ahead and have you bring us out on the field this beautiful morning.
Absolutely. Happy Monday morning, everybody. Love to see all your beautiful faces. Man, we have a couple weeks left in the year, so this is the time to dig in, get that last bit of motivation, get that last bit of processes down, the operations. Next year, we're hitting the ground running. We're not figuring out Canva in January. We're not figuring out Follow-Up Boss in January. We're getting shit done. We're doing deals. We're making plays from day one. So, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do today and next week. Don't go into winter hibernation like a lot of these other bum agents out here. So let's go.
You know what? I absolutely love it because a lot of the things that he just said are part of my reflection conversation for today, because this is the time of the year where we should be reflecting. We should be preparing carefully and executing quickly, right? I read that this morning from James Clear. Let me say that one more time. Prepare carefully and execute quickly. You guys, 10 days from now, 11 days from now, we are into a new year. So I wrote some notes here. I want to share some of this thoughts, some of this insight, and I want to turn it over to you guys because I want to have an open dialogue this morning. So I wrote here, as we move into a new dawn before we step into 2022, let's take a second to reflect on all the beautiful things that you have created in your life, in your business in 2021. And at the end of the day, you guys, some of you have exceeded your goals. Some of you have made more money than you've ever made. Some of you are just getting started. Some of you already have a little bit of momentum and your train's running down the track. So whatever it is, I want everyone to take a second before the new year hits, and I want you to reflect. I just want you to think down. I want you to reflect. I want you to look back at your year and say, man, I'm really, really amazing. Look at all the things that I've been able to create in my life. Look at the relationships that I've made. Look at the skills that I've learned. Look at the confidence that I've gained. Look at the comfort zone that I've been able to grow. I want you guys to exhale, and I want you to live in gratitude for a moment. I want you to look at everything that has been created this year. And by this stage in the game, you should feel, and my hope for each of you, my hope is that you feel pretty damn fucking dynamic, right? I feel like you've been prepped with the tools. I think you've been prepped with the coaching, with the atmosphere, with the tech, all the things that you have to be successful in this business. So I want to tell you guys this, and I want to be super, super clear. Hey, I'm going to mute a couple of people and get some background noise. Okay, there we go. I want to push you all, and I want to truly, truly convey this message. I want you to stop thinking in 2022. I do. I want you to stop thinking and just be about the action this year. Be about the action and stop thinking. So many of us get wrapped up in the thinking, the overanalyzing, the constant, oh my God, is this going to work out? And you think, and then you don't do shit, right? It's happened to all of us. I know everyone on this screen, it's happened to you guys. I know it's personally happened to me. So I want to push you guys to stop thinking and begin to take action. I wrote here that you've logged the hours. You've taken copious amounts of notes. You've watched the tape. You've watched Cynthia's videos on Mighty Network. You've watched YouTube channels. You've read the blog. You've watched the videos. You've seen the stories. You have been prepped with everything that you possibly need to crush your year. Preseason is over. Game time starts now. January 1st is right around the corner, you guys. Preseason is done. You guys have enough within you, mind, body, and spirit, action to take charge in 2022. There's no reason, when I'm looking at the screen right now, there's no reason that your life will not be changed monetarily in 2022. Now, I know, don't get me wrong, you guys, I know that not all happiness is rooted in money, but I'll tell you what, it makes shit a lot easier. It makes shit a whole lot easier, because I'll tell you what, there's some rich people that are miserable fucks, and there are some broke people that are happiest people on earth. So I'm not saying that the money's going to make us happy, but I promise you it will make things just a little bit easier, right? And who can I impact? What things can I do with my family? What memories will they have for the rest of, leave me some of that tuna, please. So my lady takes all the tuna to work and gives it to her team members, doesn't leave me the tuna. Anyways, whose life can be impacted by the year that you guys have in 2022? So you guys, this is the time where we reflect and we say, you know what are the things that I am going to take immediate action on in 2022? Stop thinking. Just say, you know what? Somebody throw me the ball and I'm going to get open. I don't know how I'm going to get open, but goddamn it, I'm going to get open. So I want to have this conversation with you guys because obviously I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm 10 days away from something that's new and fresh. You guys, we have lofty goals as a company. I'm going to share this with you guys. In 2022, we are going to do $2 billion in production, and we're going to have 600 brothers and sisters on this team from all the areas of the Bay and beyond. 600, right? So some things that I'm working on is really taking coaching to a new level. I'm going to have additional coaches on the staff and different sales managers that are going to be working even closer with you guys. I'm going to do a Coach's Corner newsletter that's going to come out every single week. So in case you miss coaching, you can be like, okay, cool. Look at the highlights from Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Look at the gems that Ryan dropped. Look at the gems that Beverly dropped. Look at the insight that Amy gave. I want you guys to be able to look at coaching and this be a true entity. We're going to build marketing pieces, campaign pieces. You guys are going to get reminders. You guys are going to get text reminders. I want you guys to be able to be in the fold, because if I'm going to ask you guys to level up, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my shit and my game to the next level, because I will never, I promise you this, I will never ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself, ever. You say, hey, can you go? Someone called me yesterday and said, hey, can you go on a listing presentation up in Clear Lake with me? I'm like, what? Let's go. All right, cool. If that's what you truly, I'm like, let's do it, right? Let's do it. I'll help you gain that confidence to kill a listing presentation. So I want to open up the mic, you guys. I want to go around the room and I want to hear from you guys. Some of this is going to be self-awareness, because I feel that reflection is rooted in self-awareness. And if you guys haven't picked up the new Gary Vee book yet, please make sure to pick up that book, as you guys are going to hear tons of things that I'm talking about that are coming directly from this book. What I'm doing is I'm reshaping them. I'm seeing how we can apply it in our environment, and then I'm gonna use a lot of that information in 2022, because it's the 12 ingredients for emotional intelligence that will help any business owner and business professional. So let's do this. I want to go around the room. I have a couple questions. Just want to get some dialogue going. I want to hear from you guys. Some of this is self-serving, and some of this is going to help me gain some knowledge in order to help you guys so we can get better. So I'm going to turn it over to one of our squad leaders, Melody. You guys know her. You see her. She's doing big things out here. So Melody, if you were to say, here's a couple key takeaways that I've learned from coaching over this last year, what are some things that you have learned in coaching? If you can say 3 things that have been really, really beneficial to you that you've learned in this environment, what would 3 things be that you've learned in group coaching from your brothers and sisters, from this environment? Like, what are 3 things that you have heard that you have really stayed with you and that you actually put into action and applied? Let's hear from you first. Let's pop this off.
Yeah, sure, Elias. Good morning, Team Fast.
Woo-hoo!
Happy holidays. Yeah, I absolutely love this question, Elias. Thanks for asking me. Actually, I know exactly what they are, which makes me happy because I didn't have to like dig for the answers. They were just right there on the surface for me. But number one is coming to group coaching Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays has taught me consistency, right? Showing up for an appointment, being on time, showing up for your fellow family members, your brothers and sisters, like Elias says, showing up in a powerful way and being of contribution in the morning and knowing that you have to be there and commit to pouring into other people and learning and growing is one of the best things that I have learned. And it makes me excited knowing that I get to hit the ground running first thing in the morning, right? So consistency, number one. Number two would be 100%. We are in the industry where we feel like we need to do everything on our own, right? If you come from a traditional brokerage, if you come from a different sales job, whatever your background is, you know that it can be very, very competitive. And I know some of you can understand me when I say it's lonely at the top, right? So whatever background you come from, I know 100% that coming to group coaching makes you feel, or it makes me feel at least, like I need other people, right? Like I don't have to do it alone. Like I can rely on my family members, on my friends, on my coaches and my mentors and other people that I may not even know, and join in together and mastermind together in the mornings and be able to have key takeaways to implement into my business. This never existed from my previous brokerages. And I was at 2 other brokerages before this. So you need other people. I miss you guys when I don't see you guys. I miss collaborating. I miss hearing some fire from Roxanne or Elias or Ernesto or JoEllen or Ryan. You know what I mean? I just absolutely love that. And when I hear someone else kick off the morning first thing in the day, it makes me feel fired up. And then when I don't show up, the contrast is what? The contrast is you miss that. You realize how much you actually need that in your lives. And I think that that's the most important thing, is the contrast, knowing that you have something to go to that's this powerful, right? So that's the second one. The third one for me is, actually, I don't really have a third one. I think those were the 2 powerful ones that really stood out. Is, I'm the type of person where I feel like I need to do everything on my own, and I want to shine and I want to be number one and whoop, whoop, whoop. And that's all great. But at the end of the day, this is a humbling experience because I realize that every time I show up, I need you guys. I need you guys more than you need me. So I think that that's the most powerful takeaway.
Man, amazing, and way to kick it off and give us a little bit of momentum. I'm gonna continue this conversation. I'm gonna go over to Amy P. Amy P. So I'm gonna go over to you, Amy P. And I'm gonna ask you a different question. So I'm gonna ask you, what did you learn most about yourself? If we're going down the road of reflection and we're talking about self-awareness in the last couple of weeks, what are some things that you've truly learned about yourself? And then what are some things that you've applied and you've seen growth in your business? So let's just stay there for a minute and then we'll continue the conversation. So Amy, take the mic for a sec.
Thank you so much, Elias. What a great question. Yes, I have learned that if I put my mind to something, I can do it. And it's up to me to stay motivated, and that I require energy and inspiration from other people. That has really been in the forefront. My natural tendency is to be self-sufficient and independent and do everything on my own. And that makes everything so much more difficult. And when I reach out for inspiration and help and support, everything tends to go smoother. I'm just more emotionally well. And, but it comes down to like really believing in myself. I think that's something I had to learn, and I'm still learning every day. Like, I can do this. And the way I'm going to do it is through support and reaching out for help. And that's okay. And also I realized that I don't have to know everything right away. I don't have to be perfect. I have people in place that are there to help me. And if I don't know something, say, I don't know this. And don't be scared to admit when you're like, oh my God, there's so much that I don't know. Don't let that stop you. Like I decided not to let that stop me from just going forward anyway, just doing it anyway. And be like, okay, here we go. I'm going to make mistakes and it's going to be embarrassing and it's going to be stressful. But overall, I realized this year that it's a hell of a lot of fun. And when I remember to have fun and reach out to other people and not get all negative and isolated, when I go to all of our events, as many as I can get to, and go to group coaching and talk to people when I'm feeling sad or stressed, then everything's okay. Like I'm fundamentally well. And this is one of the tools, especially, coaching, it's been like a backbone of my growth. And, using my tools that we've all got in place. And it's okay to get down sometimes because it's a hard business. It's a roller coaster ride, but it's supposed to be fun. That's why I did this so, and I learned that I do believe in myself and I know that all of you guys believe in me too. So it's great. It's a win-win.
I love this. And you guys, the reason why we do group coaching and a few things that you said that reminded me of something one of my mentors used to tell me. If it's to be, it's up to me, right? It's like, I have it within myself to do the things that I need to do, but sometimes we're our own worst enemy. We stand in our own way. So when we're in group coaching, this is how I look at it. You guys can see the mountaintop and be like, hey, you know what? All right, I'm going to go there. I'm going to take this route. Well, Ryan went that route. Everyone's journey to the summit is a little bit different, but along that journey, we're going to share some of the same perils. We're going to need water. We're going to need hydration. We're going to need to make sure to eat. We're going to make sure that we need to have our bags packed. We need to make sure that we're pacing ourselves, right? Everyone's journey is going to be a little bit different. We're going to experience the same things. And the way that we reach the summit might be a completely different way. Amy might have taken 4 miles different than I took, but whatever the case is, we're all getting to the same place. That's why sharing our experiences and sharing our journeys, it's not a one size fits all. That's why the beauty of the collective wisdom that I talk about all the time is because now we hear like, oh, well, shit, Bill, he just cut right at that one little spot there. And then he was able to get to the summit a lot quicker. Let's try that. So I want you guys to experience that with each other. And that's why we ask these questions, because it's important that you guys are hearing from each other. So Amy, love it. And I appreciate all of your insight. And I appreciate your true enthusiasm for this business. And I know, hey, listen, we're all going to take knocks on the chin. But it's the ones that stay in the fight that are the ones that are going to experience tremendous growth in this business. So let's continue this conversation. Armando, I'm going to go over to you. You've had the ability to work with a lot of our agents. You come to group coaching. Which team member do you think has had some of the biggest impacts on you and some of the biggest takeaways that you've heard from them? Is there anybody that stands out? Any gems? And this is brothers and sisters. This isn't trainers. This isn't leadership. This isn't anybody other than the people that come to these rooms. Is there anybody that has spit some fire that has been a huge takeaway and had an impact on you in your career?
Someone from the team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to say there's multiple people I can name here. We go to the office, we mastermind with each other. I get to know so many people on the team, but one person I would say, if I had to really name one who has had the most impact, it would be definitely Ben. Worked with him on a deal, and he's just taught me so much on how to handle. Because before I worked with him, I did a couple listens, but I wasn't really. I guess that I was still pretty green on it. But seeing him and how he communicated with clients and explained certain things to clients, it really stepped up my game and how I communicate with clients and how I handle certain situations, because in that deal, it was pretty rough. It was a really rough deal. It was really complicated. But one thing that I saw in him was that he never really stressed out about anything. And I was like, holy cow, how are you not stressed out about it? He's like, it'll work out or it won't. Like, we can just do what we do. We can give them the best information possible. We can just give them a guideline on how we're going to get through this situation. And that's really all there is to it. Like, so just seeing how confident he was and just seeing how he navigated his client or our client to that situation, and not once was he like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna close or not. He just was like, yeah, this is the game plan. This is what we're gonna do. This is how we solve the problem, and that's it. Like, why think about the problem even more?
Wow. I love this. I absolutely love that you said this. We went to a conference once, and one of the main things that they said was control the controllables, right? Control the controllables. What is one thing that we're in control of? We're in control of the way that we react to situations, right? We all know this, right? We all know that that's the one thing, but that's sometimes a challenge for a lot of us. But control the controllables. We've all chose to get stressed in environments where, do I really need to get stressed over this? Like, can I control any of this? Is any of this within my control? Well, then no, I'm going to do my job. I'm going to do a really good job and let the cards lay and the chips fall where they may, right? And so, Armando, I love that you learned that, brother, because he is. And here's another part of this, right? In many environments in real estate, the top producers don't spend any time with an agent unless you are in contract, right? Like, oh, you can't talk to me. I'm this person who's been in business for 14 years. It's like, come on. Like, that's such an old way of thinking, such a scarcity mindset. It's like we're in an environment of true abundance, right? You got the Roxanne Adams of the world. You got people on here like Melody that's been in the game for many, many years, still willing to share and contribute. So Armando, glad that you experienced that. I'm glad that you spoke about that, bro. Great stuff for you. So Armando, I'm going to ask you one more layered question. In 2022, if you were to level up by 1%, what is that 1% for you going to be? Melody says I do this a lot. I didn't realize that, but I use my hand as a pointing in a place. And so, Armando, if you were to go 1% more in your business in 2022, what does that look like for you? What is that 1% more?
It's a very open-ended question. Like improving on just like anything within the business.
Dude, if you were to raise your own bar by 1%, if there was one thing that you didn't do in 2021 that you know that will change your business in 2022, what is 1% difference?
I'm gonna say just being smarter, I think, on how one, being consistent on lead generation and following up, but two, just being a little bit smarter on how I grind. Because one thing I've seen or that I've learned through this business is that sometimes like we can grind and grind and grind, but it's not like the most effective way to grind. So I wanted I want to like kind of figure out or just see what works. Like, what's the most effective way to grind and get business? I guess that's
so Armando, I think you hit something right on. One of the most effective ways for you to grind in 2022 is to create more video, right? Armando, you're not creating any video. Bro, people need to see your face, they need to hear your voice. And that, I promise you, if you do 1% more in 2022 and you create more video, more content, I promise you, you'll grow and your business will grow. And this is not concept, right? I don't believe in concept, because concept is not something that's been tried and true and has been proven as effective, right? A concept is something that has not been proven to be effective. We know that the use of video is going to drive your business and build your brand. So I want to push you in 2022 to just turn that camera around, bro, and just hit record. It doesn't matter what. Start somewhere, right? Because you're in the office all the time. You're around everybody. You're being social. You're coming to all of our sessions. Bro, you have content on content on content that's already built for you. Use everyone else's shit until you start to find where your voice is, where your groove is, right? So let's all give Armando a little bit of a nice push in 2022, and let's see your video. And if that means that you partner with somebody like Melody and you guys do a video and you guys go back and forth, you guys creating fun reels, whatever it is, bro, we are here to help you. I promise you that 1% for you will live in your ability to create some fire ass content.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, let's continue on this conversation. I'm really enjoying this. I know Cynthia is driving, but I'll tell you what, this person has definitely been, with us through a lot of our coaching. When I look around the room, Melody, Terry, Pamela, Tam, Amy, I can go around the room and like name off people that I can't remember a session that they missed, right? It's just, and the contributions that they've given. So the consistency that I've seen across the board on the screen, and then I'm seeing new people come in and enjoy this environment, I'm beyond proud and excited. But Cynthia, let me ask for you, you've been in the game for a while, you've had your best year yet in real estate. So Cynthia, if I was to ask you what has been some of your biggest learning moments and takeaways from group coaching this year, what would that be? And what are some of the things that you've applied? Let's hear from you. If you can, if not, we could come back to you because I know you're driving.
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Okay, great. So my biggest takeaway, what's funny? I'm a little bit embarrassed to even say it because like 4 years in, I should have probably known this, but I didn't because I didn't have group coaching. My biggest takeaway was learning the sales funnel, learning how to take someone from a cold online lead all the way down to key day. I didn't know how to do that properly. I knew like somewhat, but I didn't know how to properly get them there following the sales funnel. And now I've applied it to my other buyers and it's magical. And if you guys don't know the sales funnel I'm talking about, it's in Mysti Network. It's called the lead flow. That to me was critical. So that was my biggest takeaway. And then what was the second part of the question?
So I think you answered it, the application part of it, right? It's like, what did you learn? And then, what did you apply? And it sounds like you just answered your question or my question.
Right on. And I appreciate you guys so much. I mean, the reason that I've had my best year is because you guys pushed me to be my best self. So thank you guys so much.
You know what, I appreciate your insight and the fact that she's been in the game for a while and didn't really know, she knew her flow, but now to be able to articulate it and look at it and look at the sales funnel, right? What do I do as soon as I get a lead? What should I do next? How do I follow up? How do I set up the buyer's presentation? What do I do after the buyer's presentation? Did I send a video? Did I use Vidyard? Like, that's why it's created for you guys in Mysti Network, because we really had to map it out. What does it look like as soon as somebody says, sure, Mysti, I'll go see that house on Saturday. We've actually been looking. What is that step-by-step game plan? And so love that, you guys. If you haven't seen that, you don't know the flow, make sure to go into Mysti Network and look at the lead flow. Let's go over to Terry Daniels. Terry Daniels has been a huge contributor, not only to the team, but to building out our market out here. She's going to be doing big things in River Islands, tons of game. So Terry, you've been a part of group coaching since it started. You guys, and let's tell you a little backstory. Group coaching started with 5 people. All it was script role play. We'd come together and be like, all right, cool. Tell me how you get over this objection. I tell you, it started out really small and now it's grown to a thing. So Terry, for you, what's been some of the biggest moments for you this year in group coaching as we take a step back and just reflect on the year?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
I think the most important thing is that you need a coach. Not you call it group coaching, but I think people need to realize that you need a coach, because a lot of times, like most of the previous comments, you try to do it on your own. You need help. So basically we're not utilizing what's available through Fast Real Estate, which is basically the VAs, the coaching, all that plays a big part as far as being prepared to have systems in place. And especially for the newer agents, if you get the coaching, then you know the direction on where you need to go instead of going, oh, I don't know what to do next. But if you come to coaching or in any field, coaching for exercise, coaching for your finances, you need a coach. So I would definitely have to say the coaching. And just even though sometimes I may be in the background just listening, I can hear everything that I was taught 18 years ago coming out of the coaching.
I love it. Love it. And where are you heading to today? Are you heading to an appointment right now?
Oh no, grandma duties, dropping off the kids at school. Somebody
All
got to
right.
do it.
All right. Now, Terry, when are you out in the River Islands area next?
I actually have to get with Michael because we're about to hit the new homes out there in River Islands. He started already, but I have to go show my face and get some
Okay.
videos done.
Well, let me know when you're out here and we'll do some lunch.
Perfect.
All right. And I always appreciate your insight, and you always spit and fire for us. I appreciate you. Let's go over to JoEllen, part of our Sacramento markets. So JoEllen, I'm going to go over to you. Relatively new-ish to group coaching. It's been a few months. So JoEllen, your time here, what's been some of your key moments in this environment? If you can think back, just the things that you've learned, maybe go through your notes, like what's been some of your key moments that you've had? We don't have audio for you. You took yourself off of mute. Oh, shucks. She was excited to say something. So yeah, for some reason, we don't have any audio on you. So we will come back, but I'm going to go to the Mysti Matthews show. Mysti Matthews. So I'm going to go over to you. What's been some of your key moments in group coaching, and what's that meant to you as a real estate and as a person overall? Let's hear from you, Mysti.
So, you know what, guys, I just want to touch on a couple of things on group coaching and just the support from people that I don't know on the team. So I've had my license since 2005, but I haven't done a lot of real estate. Like, I really haven't. Like, I don't know a lot. And I learned that, like, yeah, I've done deals, but I just kind of fumbled through them over the years, not really having any guidance, but just getting it done. I had a deal recently, and it had a rent back and just a whole lot of crap that I never even seen, guys. like I never seen it. Cynthia, I mean, everybody was just so helpful. I mean, Roxanne helped me. I mean, I think I met Roxanne like once, you know. It's just, I am so amazed and overwhelmed with the support. If I would have met Team Fast 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I'd be a fucking millionaire. I'm telling you right now, because this is crazy. I mean, I got a call from Angelica the other day. She has a listing coming up from a listing I had, and we were just, you know, chatting it up. I have never had this in my real estate career. I wish I would have 10, 15 years ago. I'm telling you, I would freaking be a millionaire. So I mean, I missed coaching last week. I had some family stuff going on, but this just makes me want to be like at the top. You know, I'm always like, I'm number one. And there's no reason not to be number one with Fast, because everything is given to you, like the virtual assistant, the things that they'll do for you, and all we have to do is ask. I'm still blown away. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, I just had 30 days of content created for my social media, and I paid someone thousands of freaking dollars to do it for a boutique of mine like 2 years ago. So I'm just so excited. In 2022, you know, I told my husband, I was like, man, I'm gonna do like 31 deals. I was like, there is no reason not to. With all the support, but where I'm missing out on, I'm kind of like procrastinating a little bit with the leads. I don't know why. You know, Jeff invited me to come to the Brentwood office to spend some time with him to talk about Op City. You know, we can make excuses. You can do it or you can make excuses. And I'm all about holding myself accountable. I've been kind of just procrastinating. Like I don't know if I'm scared. I don't really know. Like, do I not believe in myself? I'm like, just freaking do it. Get on the leads, take some calls, just do it, you know. And now I wrote down the sales funnel. You know, practice makes perfect. I'm a person that believes that. I believe if you do something over and over and over, you just get better and better. You reflect, you get better, you get better. It's just doing it. And I mean, I've been with Team Fast now, I want to say about 60 days. And I just closed my first transaction. But I mean, the support, Elias, these calls, I mean, like, I wasn't going to come to coaching today. I'm not going to lie to you. And I was like, why am I not going to go to coaching? Elias told me, get my ass on the call, get into coaching, right? And now I feel like I can conquer the world. You know, just hearing everybody talk about some of the obstacles they had, hearing Armando say some of the things, it's like, yeah, I need to work on this. And I'm a list person. It's kind of old school. I'm kind of old, but I'm kind of old school, and I make lists. So I know exactly. So some of the things I wrote down was like Facebook business page. Freaking VA just created my Facebook business page. I got a call her at 11 o'clock. We're going to hook up Homes for Heroes. So I feel like I'm going into 2022 just trying to kill it. Homes for Heroes, I signed up for reevaluate, dropped in a ton of leads. I hooked up like 100 of them with HomeBot. So I'm making the steps. I'm making the steps because I want to have a year of like just a crazy 2022, like I hear everybody else talking about, on the calls, and I'm watching their Instagrams. I'm like, that's got to be me in 2022.
Damn. You guys, let me ask you this. If Mysti Matthews led her day and approached her day with that style and that level of energy and pure passion and excitement, do you think that she's just going to get some deals based on her energy level and level of excitement? 100%. Because like I got chills just hearing you talking, and I'm like, damn, she's fired up. There's something there. It's fired up. I met with Mysti Matthews 6 years ago. I had an interview with her when I was at Coldwell Banker. She's like, no, we never met. I'm like, no, we met. There's not too many Mysti Matthews. I remember that shit. And then we text message. She's like, oh, we did have a meeting. And like to think back, I'm like, man, like you had it then. You had it 10 years ago. You just need catalyst moments to say, you know what? Damn, like I just need a little bit of support. I need some people to go to. I need someone to help me believe in myself in a completely different way. Someone's talking. Can you not? Sorry. Was that you, JoEllen?
Yeah, I'm testing.
Okay. Sorry. So we'll come back to JoEllen's mic is working, so we're gonna turn it over to her in a second. But Mysti, like straight fire. And to think about that, you guys, leverage the shit out of the VAs. I don't know anything that I've ever asked them to do that they said, Elias, I can't do that. I literally, you guys, and I don't know how they do it, but they're stoked to do it. They're making, Elizabeth, mute yourself. They're making literally what doctors make in the Philippines. Like it's their money out there. I mean, the American dollar in the Philippines stretches so far. So Mysti, thank you for your pure excitement. We're stoked. We know you're going to have that 31 plus. So great stuff. So JoEllen, you got some stuff you want to finally say now that we have your audio working. So JoEllen, same question for you. Key moments for you through group coaching.
Well, I just kind of started getting into the coaching. I'm super committed to coming 3 days a week. I love hearing everything that you guys have to say. You're super motivating, your energy, and just learning from you, the things that you've already kind of gone through that I can take and, do those things or not do those things. But yeah, I'm super excited to be here. I've learned a lot so far with being on Team Fast. I wrote my first offer yesterday since being on Team Fast. And thank God I had Slack. I had all those templates that have already been made by all of you guys. So I was able just to enter my information, go through the RPA. A really nice girl out of Vacaville, her name is Danielle. She got on the phone with me yesterday and checked out my contract to make sure everything looked good. Our offer didn't get accepted, but he said it was super close. They just went with the other guy because of something else that we couldn't change as far as money goes. But that was really cool. So I'm dedicated. Hopefully we'll get another one before the end of the year, and then 30 next year with you guys. So
I love this. Big goals. I love it. And I appreciate you being here. Appreciate the excitement, enthusiasm. Sometimes we just need a change, right? Have you guys ever thought like maybe you guys were in a relationship, and then you get into a new relationship, like, fuck, this is great, right? It's like I wasn't miserable in my last relationship, but now I'm like, fuck, I'm super happy with like one person changed so much. So it's like sometimes you just need a change, and sometimes that change is coming to Team Fast. Sometimes that change is coming to group coaching, and now you got all these people around like, wait, what? We have what? We have these tools, we have this tech, we have all these things around us, we have community. Let's talk about that for a second, you guys. There's community and there's culture, right? Culture is like, oh, I like the way that company looks. I like the way it sounds. They got a cool office. They got a cool vibe. It looks like that, right? Well, community is what happens here. Community is what happens at the offices. Community is what happens when you see all of our agents going out and having pho 2 times a week, 3 times a week. They're going and having shots and going to the bar. Like, there's a sense of community and family within inside of the company. I think both are important. Culture and community are really important, but that high arching community is super, super rich here. And so, I appreciate you guys chiming in. Let's hear from 2 other people. I'm going to go to Kaleem, and then I'm going to go to Roxanne. So Kaleem, you're new, bro. So Kaleem, just so you guys know, Kaleem hasn't even got his license yet, but Kaleem is ready to take over the world. So Kaleem, what are some things for you in your short time of coming to group coaching that you've learned, maybe learned about yourself? Kaleem, you there?
Yeah, your audio cut out a
Sorry.
little bit for me.
Go ahead, brother.
I'd definitely say the biggest thing that I've taken away out of just coming to these coaching meetings alone is that just to be yourself. Me being 19, I feel like I have to be somewhat, create a better image of myself or change things for other people. But when I come into this environment, I feel like, everybody's just being true to themselves. So why should I not be true to myself as well? Along with that, I think that these coaching meetings are absolutely amazing. I wouldn't have thought that any other, real estate team would have been doing something like this. You guys really seem like you guys care for each other, and that's just huge. You guys really help each other out, and I'm just can't wait to get in here and soak up as much knowledge as possible from everybody.
And I love it. And sorry about my audio, but I absolutely love it. At 19 years old, if you apply the things that you're learning from the veterans on the screen, from what you're hearing from the company, I promise you, by 25 years old, look at Dewey, look at Mauricio. These dudes did 25 deals by the time they were 25, 26. Life-changing money, right? There is nothing standing in your way. You have more resources than I had at 19. I'll spit some game here. At 1999, I was 19 years old. No social media, no Instagram, no ability to be an entrepreneur, no visibility other than the people that I was working with, word of mouth and phone calls, right? You have more visibility on you than we could ever imagine. So bro, I'm wishing you tons and tons of success.
Thank you. Actually, one more thing I wanted to add is for being my age, I actually do not like social media at all. So that's one thing I do want to turn around and start doing a lot more.
You're good at it. So keep on that. Triple down on your social media game. Let's go over to Roxanne, and then Dameon, if you're in a position, I'm gonna have you bring us home. So Roxanne, she's been a huge contributor to our culture, to our environment. She's come to group coaching, and she is, she's also a top producer on this call. So Roxanne, what have been some key moments for you and some key takeaways for you?
So good morning, everybody. I love being on this coaching, and I've been on here off and on, but I think I said before, I'm committed to be on here 3 times a week because I feel lucky that this is in place. And I feel grateful to even be able to have the opportunity to listen to this information. And what I love about it, honestly, is to see people succeeding. Like, it really warms my heart to see that multiple agents are actually seeing success. And it feels good to not be the only one that is, for example, a number 1, or say, for example, some brokerages, you only have maybe 5 agents who are always number one, and everyone else is just trying to hold on. And when we come into this environment and fast real estate alone, and what you and Kenny have put together here, you get to see everybody succeed. And that feels really good to be around people where everyone is succeeding and no one's getting left behind, especially if you want it. If you want it, you're going to be here. And this environment allows us to all grow together and everybody win. And it just feels good to hear all these wonderful things.
Man, Roxanne, I so appreciate you, and I appreciate your insight and for being here and giving, right? I think we all take a lot from you. When I am around you, Roxanne's energy is super, super contagious, being around her and Mel, you're damn, you feel that, like, it hits you in the face, right? And so Roxanne, I really, really appreciate the no left behind, mantra, and for you speaking up and contributing. Let's go over to Dameon. Dameon, one of his best years ever in real estate. And Dameon, I don't know if you have a second to talk, but let's just hear from you, brother. You've had tons of takeaways. You've contributed on a high level. Let's hear from you, just a quick reflection, key moments that you've had through group coaching, my man.
I'm over here losing my headphones while I'm in this auto shop. Let me step out for 1 second. But yeah, just group coaching is very essential to me. And even today has proved that. I mean, we have somebody licensed on or in the process of getting licensed, and he's 19 years old. And then we have people like Roxanne getting on here that, have all this experience, but they're still saying how necessary group coaching is. Like on both ends of the spectrum, that is just super motivating. And to me, being stuck in the middle of both of those things, again, I'm just drawing inspiration every time I'm on these calls, whether I talk or I'm just listening. It starts your week off the right way, but it also just gets you in the mindset that you're not alone in this thing. And that's probably the most important thing to me, is realizing that you're not alone in how you feel, what you're going through, your experiences in this business. So this coaching is very necessary, again, to not lose your sanity in this shit, because you can lose it. Like, again, I keep pointing out that whenever I get a chance to speak, like I go from having a damn near $5 million month to struggling trying to get a client in a contract for 2 months. Like it really is like that sometimes. But again, getting on these calls and listening to all you pros and people that are striving to be a pro, that shit is just so helpful in my own personal journey throughout this thing. So I appreciate group coaching for sure. I may not make it like I want to, but man, every time I do, it's no mistake.
Man, I really appreciate you, and congratulations on your best year in real estate ever, man. And
Thank you.
All the while at home with the babies, face some challenges throughout the year. And so, mad respect, mad love to what you've created in your environment, man. So you guys, I am super, super filled with emotion right now. To take you back on a journey, in March of 2020, I had never conducted one Zoom call. I had done many, many coaching sessions, one-on-one coaching sessions, but I had never done Zoom calls, right? And then we obviously went into pandemic, and then we had to shift. So I didn't know how to do things, right? There was things that I had to learn on the fly, and said, you know what? We have to build culture in a time where we are physically divided, but we need to be united together, and we need to figure out a way. Right. And so we started doing more and more Zoom calls. We started promoting buyers presentations, listing presentations on Zoom. And we had to find a way. It was some of the most challenging times. And if you guys know me, I love being in person. I love talking to you guys, shaking hands, high five, give me a hug, give me some love. That's just who I am as a human being. So I had to shift. And I said, are people going to be able to feel my energy on a screen? Am I going to be able to convey messages on a screen? I started out and I was like, oh, let me build out these PowerPoints. Well, I didn't like doing the PowerPoints. Why? Because then I couldn't look at the screen and I'm on my PowerPoint. So I found things that I liked and didn't like. And so, like, trial and error. Now, fast forward, Kenny and I have been on over 1,000 Zoom calls since then, over 1,000 Zoom calls. You start to understand flow and the dichotomy of like Zooms, like how to get better and how to have like you're in a room and you have to call on people and you have to have some engagement. You have to have the right flow. And so this has been like a science project for me, you guys. So I just wanted to say thank you. Like, thank you for fucking showing up and being here and holding me accountable, right? I don't just wake up at 8 o'clock. I got 30 minutes and get my coffee and get my water and like, let's get into this. Like I said, you guys, if I don't have 2 pages of notes, if I'm not writing, reading, listening, and preparing, then I'm fucking doing you guys an injustice, right? So I have to make sure that I level up in order to be the best coach that I can be for you guys. So I appreciate you guys, and I'm grateful for you because it has allowed to push me and allowed me to get better. And then other people have came to me and be like, hey, I've watched your YouTube, or I've done this, or I saw one of your meetings, and thank you for that. And I was like, you're welcome. And it's literally you guys, right? I'm just asking questions and you guys are responding in this environment. And so I I'm really, really like filled with gratitude right now. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you for doing this with me and taking this journey with me. In 2022, we're going to get better. We're going to do more things. We're going to get more dialed in. We might even do some group coaching in person. We might even do some mastery sessions at fucking 7 a.m., right? We might do some things a little bit different. We're going to make some changes because we're going to improve. We're going to grow. I just found out in Zoom, I can do breakout rooms. So that means, all right, there's 50 people on group coaching. We're going to do 5 groups of 10. It's going to be headed up by Mel, JoEllen, Dameon, Alyssa, Michael, Christine Miller. Now we're going to do script role play. Here is the topics. Cool, you guys break out into your rooms, and then I can bounce to all the rooms. Like, all right, Michael, let me hear from your group. We're spitting some fire. Let me hear that. Change that a little bit. Don't say that. Don't ask a yes or no question at that stage. Cool, let me go over to Alyssa's room. Cool, what am I hearing? Now we can and then come back full circle for the last 20 minutes and say, what were the key objection handling or the key phrases or the key ways to handle this objection so we can get even better. So these are things that I'm committed to doing and trying. I'm going to do marketing pieces. I'm going to do text messages. We're going to do reminders. We're going to do best of for the week newsletter. So you guys, I'm going to promise you this on group coaching public declaration that I'm going to take this to new levels, new heights. I'm going to grow myself in order to grow you guys. And so I appreciate you. And I'm really, really grateful to be where we're at. So let's come full circle. We have 3 minutes. I'm going to hear from 3 people. Key takeaways from today's session. Christine Miller, let's go over to you. Key takeaways from today's time together.
Just, I don't know, just, I feel like I just, I already knew how great this team was, but it just kind of like, it's just nice to hear how everyone else is benefiting from the team. And then one of the main things is like, I love Team Fast because they invest a lot in their agents. Like they invest so much in all the programs that we have and everything. Like I hear a lot of other agents at other brokers that basically they have to pay for those things, but here it is, it's provided for us. So I just really am grateful for this team, just overall.
Awesome. Hey, Christine, let's get our appointment rescheduled too, because I know we had an appointment a week ago. Let's get that rescheduled. So Bill, my man, up in Sacramento area. Bill, for you, brother, welcome. First off, Bill, can you hear me? What were your takeaways from today's session, brother?
Well, I'm officially not on Team Fast yet. I am and I'm not.
Okay.
I'm still in the process of switching everything over. My license, everything switched over, but it's a holdup for one reason or another. So I'm still learning. I jumped on this morning, and my takeaway is kind of what we had talked about when I met you the other night. You talk the talk, but do you walk the walk? And by jumping on here today, I'm kind of seeing that you do. You have a lot of people that are saying the same thing that you and I had talked about. There's a lot of support. There's a lot of admiration and a lot of love, basically, between everybody, and they're sharing and talking. So it's giving me a little bit of a better feeling about coming over from a blind thing. And like I said, and for those of you, I'm still brand new. I haven't even had my license 2 years yet. I got it in January of 2020. And basically I've been solo, learning on webinars, learning everything my own on webinars, online, everything, and surviving, not doing fabulous, but not doing bad. I still did 7 deals my first year and 12 last year. But with no support of any kind from anybody. So I'm hoping that this can take me to a level that I would be very comfortable with. And thanks for calling on me.
Thank you for being here, Bill. I really appreciate it, my man. Let's go over to Alyssa. Alyssa, takeaways from today's session. Let's hear from you. What were some of your takeaways from today's session together?
Takeaways: lean on your people, community versus culture. I think that group coaching gives us our own little sense of community. I love showing up to events and being able to be like, oh my gosh, my coaching buddy. We haven't met in person, but I feel like I know you already because of the community that we've established here. We kind of have the same people pop up almost every single time. You definitely can tell who doesn't miss a beat. Last week, I didn't make it to coaching. Feel like I was hit in a little bit of a seasonal depression bubble and bouncing back on today. And I was kind of in the same boat. Oh, I don't really want to go to coaching, but I have to, and I need to be surrounded by the social interaction. And I just, again, the amount of love that you get, not even in our little group coaching community, but in our entire team. I had a teammate call and I just couldn't tell him how much I just needed that call. I was like, I need this. And all he did was check up on me. So it was refreshing to hear, but I'll keep it short since it's 9:30, but
Love
love
it.
on your people.
Love it. You guys,
Real quick.
What, say that? What's that, Nichole?
I wanted to share something really quick. Is when you had brought up not being able to see yourself when you do the PowerPoints with the Zoom.
Yeah.
If you hit screen share and then when it says advanced, there's something where you can make your PowerPoint presentation the background and your face will be in the bottom corner.
Ooh, okay, cool. I like that. I like that. So you guys, thank you. Like my cup runneth over with emotion right now. I'm literally like, I'm just emotional right now. And it's been such an incredible year when I think about what we've created as a company, what me and Kenny have created as a partnership. And, you know, he was like the brainchild of this, but, you know, I feel like I've been helped with that Imagineer, right? He's Walt Disney and I've been his Imagineer to help really bring the thoughts and the ideas to the forefront. And my role has always been, you know, agent support and help build the standards of this company in which we operate on. And the standards are, you know, those are like the unspoken. You just understand the standards of this company. And so I'm just stoked to be where I am. I'm really grateful to be where I am in life and in business and with you guys. So enjoy your day, keep it moving towards your dreams, goals, and visions, and make sure that you guys are preparing and that you guys are executing. You guys have January 2022 right around the corner. I want to push everyone to make this the best year that you've ever had, physically, emotionally, financially. I want to help support you guys in all areas of your life. So let's get out there, let's crush it, let's do what we do best, and let's go and make a change in people's lives. So I appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Grateful.